I just did something a little crazy. I gave up my entire apartment, cut my expenses in half. I'm basically hit reset on my life. Now, before you go worrying about me thinking I'm crazy, just know, tell the bee to go away. I'm not even cutting that out. Just know that this is the best decision I've ever made. So let me be your example of how you can hit a complete reset without losing your mind. Let me preface this by saying I'm not a financial advisor, not in the least bit of the imagination. I'm just a regular girl who realized life had basically gotten too exhausting and I needed a drastic change, so I shrunk it. And I shrunk it all the way down, back to zero technically. So over the next 30 days or so, maybe the next few weeks, I'm going to take you through everything. And this is happening live, so you're getting to see it as it happens. We're going to see what changed, what worked, what didn't work, and most of all, what I wish I had known sooner. But before we get there, we got to go back to what inspired this crazy decision. I'm going to ask you to bear with me because I'm going off the dome. There is no notes, there is no laid out thought. I'm just going with what comes. And truth be told, before I came to this decision, as of like 2 months ago, I was in the process of taking the steps to buy a house. So to go from buying a house to now the apartment that you were in by yourself, just chilling, is no more. Who saw that coming? I saw, if I'm being honest, I saw hints of it, but not in this way. I remember earlier this year when I vacationed in Tobago, and I can distinctively remember standing on the hilltop in Tobago looking down over the ocean. And to me, that entire trip, although I went to Trinidad for Carnival, that entire trip I kept singing, "This is the peace that you cannot buy." And something about that piece was just different. It may have ignited some plans that I have for the future, but nothing in 2026. And then a few months ago, I started this push to becoming her because I knew that there's more to life. As a 48-year-old who, in every stretch of the imagination, I did the right things. I went to school, I got the degree, I got the jobs, but it always seems like every time I step, the goalposts move that much further. Every time you make a step up, the goalposts to the American dream or accomplishing various goals and various things in life just kept moving further. And you begin to realize that no matter how hard you work, there's still going to be a gap because, as you know, I run orders for Walmart. So I'm in Walmart all the time, and you see all these retired individuals either helping to bag or are greeters at the door, and you realize you spend your entire life working, grinding, doing the most to hopefully what is supposed to be retirement. Retirement is not the same because, as I was talking to one of the employees at Walmart, one of the older employees, she's like, "I'm not here because I want to be here. I'm here because I have to be here because the money that it is coming in is not enough to sustain life." Because if you look at a simple thing like rent not 5 years ago used to be a decent number. Now everyone is paying, I'm in a 1-bedroom and I'm paying close to $2,000 a month for rent. It's high. So with that in mind, and you're looking at various things and you're realizing there has got to be more to life than just working 7 days, it's practically 7 days a week, but working 6 days a week, sun up to sundown, to go home, rush home, to get a few things done, to go to bed, to wake up, to do it all over tomorrow. So once you start paying attention to those things, you're realizing, I need to find better for myself. I need to do better for myself. And one of the quotes that's always stuck with me is that in order to get something different, you have to do something drastic. You can't keep doing the same things you've been doing, especially if you've been doing it for decades. Because I looked at myself through my 20s. I saw what I did through my 20s. I saw what I did through my 30s. I saw what I did through my 40s, and most of it has just been a repeat. And I'm like, if I'm blessed to see 50, I don't want to be repeating my 20s and 40s. Something has got to give. And sometimes in that something given, it starts with something drastic. I'm pausing to think because I was even thinking back to my Orlando trip, which was recently. Even in that trip, it woke up something different in me. Onika, you cannot keep doing this the way it's been done. And therein, in Orlando again, I found myself singing, "This is the peace that you cannot buy." So I started to focus on that piece. And in focusing on that piece, I realized, okay, at that moment, I realized we need to put the house on pause. But this downsize, that downsize wasn't at that moment. This downsize, and I'm not even going to say notion, this is nobody but the man above putting it into my system, or putting it into the Holy Ghost within me and waking it up. That downsize conversation was literally about 2 weeks ago. And it's almost as if I was sitting there talking to a friend. I heard it loud and clear. Get rid of everything. And so I'm not sitting here making it seem like, hopefully I don't come across as if it's an easy decision, because when I said, I spent a little bit of that conversation crying. Or I shouldn't even say conversation, a little bit of that, are you sure? Crying, because me holding on to materialistic things. Like I was thinking of my work desk that I just bought. In my head, I'm like, fine, I'll downsize. I'll get rid of some things and then keep the few things that I wanted to keep. And as plain as day, I heard it. Get rid of everything. Everything has got to go. The only thing you're keeping is the clothes that's on your back, or a few clothing items, but everything has got to go. And if you've been following me for a few months now, you know I was in the process of changing my closet out because I kept saying becoming her. Who knew that when I started that journey of becoming her, that I would be here at this point of starting from ground zero. And as I mentioned in the beginning of this video, do not be worried about me, because trust and believe. I know for a fact that this is the right decision. This is the best decision I could have ever made. Did I have my moments of crying because I wanted to keep the chairs that I just bought, my accent chairs that I just bought? I wanted to keep my standing desk that I just bought, my plants. If you've seen any videos and you see my plants, you know I've developed, my mom is a plant person, but I've developed a relationship over the past few years or so with my 15 or so plants that I have. And I started to question it. Like, you sure you want me to get rid of everything? And I could hear that man above loud as day. We're starting fresh. So here we are. So I would honestly say this is going to be a process, but for this video, if you're in a restart, a reset, a restart over, whatever you want to label it, if you're in that season, it's going to start with your mindset. You have to shift your mindset. To me, that's one of the biggest things you can do. I'll leave you with maybe three. The mindset shift. Another key component is reminding yourself of why you're doing this, and that whatever it is that you're doing, however uncomfortable it feels, it's temporary. It is just for a short time. We have to learn to make ourselves uncomfortable today in order for us to meet that level that we want to meet tomorrow. So is it going to suck in the moment? It may. I'm not going to say mine. As I said, I'm loving my decision. I'm going to go through what it is I'm doing, because if you see my apartment, it is a complete mess because I'm packing. Hopefully I would have inserted some videos, some clips in here at this point. And I don't want to keep rambling on too long because it's a while. It's just a while. But just know, if your mindset is really focused on what it is that you want to achieve, you'll embrace being uncomfortable for a little bit just so that you can get to that point. So adjusting your mindset, embracing that uncomfortable feeling, and at the same time remembering it's just temporary. Look how fast these years fly by. Like, we're in August of 2026. We were just going through the vid a few years ago. We were just saying Merry Christmas and Happy New Year a few months ago, but yet it's about to be Merry Christmas pretty soon. So keep in mind that those things are temporary. But buckle up. This is going to be a very fun, interesting, eye-opening, enlightening journey. I don't promise that everything will always be a smile. Like anything else, there are going to be ups and downs, but I'm looking forward to it because in every step, in every journey, it just means growth, and growth always means a better tomorrow. So thank you for coming and spending this time with me, and I'm excited. If you're in this journey too, come on back. Let's take this step together. Let's walk together. Drop it in the comments what you're dealing with on your end, and maybe we can be that support system for each other. But I've monopolized you guys' afternoon long enough. This is so peaceful out here. It's so amazing out here. But I'm not sure how often I'll be doing these videos. If it'll be once a week, if it'll be multiple times a week. Maybe I'll see what the response is to this one, and then we'll go from there. But know that it's your girl, your girl Onika. Still love, still always. And we're gonna do this thing one step at a time. But first we gotta downsize, and we can do it. I'll catch y'all later. Bye.